Alrighty folks, so this morning we're going to be doing a little work here in the potatoes, and I think you can see the potatoes in there amongst all the grass. So what we're going to do, we got the rototiller over here, we're going to run passes up and down between the rows, and then I've got the little hiller attachment sort of thing there too. I think we're going to try running in between the rows with that to get some of the dirt pushed off to the sides. It's not really wide enough to really get it up tight around the potatoes to actually hill it up like it needs to be, but I think it'll at least be a start, and then from there we can use the hoe to kind of bring the dirt up around the potatoes and get those hilled up today as well. Alright, so the plan was, when I was working on getting these potatoes hilled, the ground was a little bit on the wet side. It wasn't terrible, but I thought, well, I'll let it go for another day or two, and then try running it the tiller with the hiller through there again, try doing them a little bit better. But when it dried out, then I realized I really got to get working on hay, and I didn't get back around to working on doing any more with getting these things hilled. And by the time I finished hay, at that point I said, you know, it's not worth even trying to do it at this point. So at this point, what we're down to is just trying to get these things weeded. So I was hoping to get started on this a little bit earlier this morning because it's already starting to get warm out, but I want to see if I can at least knock out maybe one or two of these shorter rows on this side of it. Try getting some of these weeds out of here. We got some rain here recently, so hopefully they should pull out relatively well. I wanted to show you guys something kind of weird that's happening this year. And I really have no idea why this is going on, but it's kind of odd. So last year when I grew potatoes in this area, and I know it's not good to grow the same thing in the same area a couple years in a row, but they did really well. But this year, this end of it is doing pretty well, but then you start coming down this side and it's maybe a little bit hard to tell. There's some chopped up weeds in here, but it didn't do so well down at this end of this section here. And not only are the potatoes not doing well, but the weeds actually aren't growing very well either. So if you look, there's a bunch of weeds, and then we get down to this end, and even the weeds are a whole lot more sparse. It's not as tall, there's not as many of them, and I have no idea what is causing this, but it's kind of weird. It's like everything, or nothing, however you want to put it, nothing is doing as well down at this end of this patch as at the other side, and I have not the foggiest idea what is causing this. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to work on out here is that area right in there. That's where I had some potatoes in there last year. I did till this up earlier this year, but obviously I have not done anything with it since then, and it's kinda grown over. So I think what I'm going to try doing is running over it with the brush hog to get everything knocked down a whole lot lower. And then I'll hook the disc up on the Massey Ferguson 35 and run through here, try chopping this stuff up a little bit more, and hopefully knock the weeds back a little bit. I don't think anything has gone to seed, if I don't kick the tripod here, I don't think anything's gone to seed quite yet with the weeds, so hopefully if I can get it done now, it's not going to be quite so bad in the future. Alright, well I know it still looks really green. A lot of this stuff is just bits of chopped up grass that's right on the surface there. So in another few days, a lot of this will be browned up and that'll all be dead grass. But at the moment, it looks like it's not very well done. Of course, it's not nearly as good of a job as what the tiller did earlier this year, but I think that'll do a good enough job to knock that stuff back And I may be throwing some stuff in this area here a little bit later, I'm not sure. So I think that is gonna be it for working on the potatoes, getting those sort of kind of hilled up, and mainly getting them weeded, getting that done and doing a little bit of work over there. So that is gonna wrap it up for today's video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.